In the ancient Genesis accounts, we find a curious detail. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and from there it parted into 4 headwaters. This isn't just a poetic flourish, it's a geographical marker, seemingly precise, yet for millennia, this ultimate paradise has eluded discovery. Has every attempt to locate the Garden of Eden been fundamentally flawed? Or does its true home reside not where we've been looking, but somewhere far more profound, perhaps even within the very pages that first described it? For centuries, scholars, explorers, and theologians have scoured maps, examining every river valley from Mesopotamia to the Persian Gulf, tracing the Tigris and Euphrates, searching for the Pishon and Gihon. Early church fathers like Augustine speculated on its earthly location, while explorers in the Age of Discovery dreamt of stumbling upon its untouched gates. They sought a physical place, a tangible sanctuary, pristine and inviolate, hidden from the fallen world. Indeed, ancient Babylonian texts, like the Epic of Gilgamesh, speak of a sacred garden, often linked to the land between 2 rivers, reinforcing the idea of a primeval, physical origin point. Consider the sheer scale of the geological shifts across millennia. The deluge described in Scripture, if taken literally, would have reshaped continents. Tectonic plates move, rivers change course. What was once a fertile crescent, a cradle of civilization, could now be barren desert or submerged beneath oceans. This geological reality presents an insurmountable challenge to any literal mapping of Eden. Yet the persistence of the desire to find it, to pinpoint its coordinates, speaks to a deeper human longing. Why do we so desperately cling to the idea of a physical garden? Perhaps the error lies not in the inability to find Eden, but in the very definition of what we are seeking. What if the Bible, in its layered wisdom, offers clues not to a lost geographical coordinate, but to a deeper, more enduring reality? Ancient hermeneutics often looked beyond the literal, seeking spiritual and allegorical truths. The early Desert Fathers, for instance, spoke less of a physical destination and more of a state of grace, a return to innocence through spiritual discipline. They saw Eden as a blueprint for the soul, a state of unblemished communion, rather than an archaeological dig site. When we delve further into the biblical narrative, another interpretation begins to emerge, subtle yet compelling. The accounts describe not just a place, but a relationship. Adam and Eve in direct, unmediated communion with the divine. It was a place of perfect harmony, where the spiritual and physical realms intertwined seamlessly. Could it be that the true home of Eden is not a static location, but an accessible, though perhaps transformed, sacred space? Think of the temple in Jerusalem or the tabernacle before it. These were regarded as microcosms of the original garden, designed as earthly reflections of a heavenly pattern. Places where the divine presence could dwell amongst humanity. The cherubim guarding the way back to Eden with their flaming swords are echoed in the symbolism and guardianship of these later sacred sites. The narrative of Eden, therefore, might be less about a historical vacation spot and more about an enduring theological reality. The true location of Eden, according to a profound reading of Scripture and ancient traditions, shifts from a lost paradise to a promised one. Consider the prophetic visions in the book of Revelation, describing a new Jerusalem, a city with a river of life and trees bearing 12 kinds of fruit, healing for the nations. This imagery intentionally echoes the Garden of Eden, but it places it not in the past, but in a future, perfected state of existence. It suggests that Eden isn't merely a place we fell from, but a destination we are moving towards. It's a template for what humanity, in its highest spiritual form, is meant to experience. This reframes the entire quest. Instead of searching for ancient ruins buried beneath shifting sands, we are invited to look for the manifestation of Eden's principles in sacred spaces, in moments of genuine connection, and ultimately in the eschatological vision of a world restored. The Bible, rather than pointing to a buried relic, is revealing a living truth about humanity's purpose and destiny. It speaks to a profound longing for a return to holiness, a longing deeply embedded in the human psyche across all cultures and belief systems. Every civilization has its myths of a golden age, a lost paradise, a perfect beginning. The Garden of Eden taps into this universal yearning. So, if Eden's true home isn't a mere geographical point, but rather a spiritual reality that can manifest in sacred spaces, in the life of faith, and ultimately in a renewed creation, Where then do you believe its essence truly resides? Is it a memory we must uncover, a state of being we must cultivate, or a promise yet to be fully realized?